Welcome back here with us on Times Now. We have some breaking inputs coming in at this point in time, and this news that we are getting is about Brent crude prices. In fact, as we speak, this kind of a reaction as far as the Brent crude prices are concerned. In fact, the last 48 hours have been quite volatile in the oil markets. In fact, the oil prices fell sharply soon after President Donald Trump, President of the United States of America, in fact, declared that, that there are going to be no strikes on Iran's energy infrastructure for at least 5 days. So since that, decision was made and that announcement came from U.S. President Donald Trump, we have seen oil prices falling a little bit. Let's go across to Ajay Dua, former Commerce Secretary, joining us on the broadcast. Mr. Dua, good morning. Thank you for speaking with us here on Times Now. Brent crude still below $100 per barrel. Clearly, there are signs of a possible de-escalation because a lot of activity has taken place over the last 24 hours as well. U.S. President had a conversation with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. What do you make of what's happening in the oil market right now?
The developments are most welcome from point of view of India, especially because we are a large importer of crude oil with 80% of our requirement being met through imports. And we should welcome it. It's come down from beyond $110. And in fact, on one day it was even $115, if you would recall. Yet $100 is about 50% higher than what it was pre the Middle East war was started about 3.5 weeks ago. At that point of time, it was below $70. I'm expecting that the de-escalation measures which have been initiated now, these would gather momentum, and the war, it's not going to be just a 5-day ceasefire. The war would stop soon. That is when we would really reap the full benefits of the prices coming down, and there, if the Strait of Hormuz also gets opened up, we should find the prices in India of crude oil coming down, as well as the Brent, particularly because the Brent, as well as both the WTI, the Texas index, both will come down, and that should be good for our economy as well as the world trade.
Well, absolutely. And also, do you think the measures that were announced, for example, IEA decided that from strategic reserves, its members are going to be releasing crude, and then also how Russian crude is entering into the market as well, with buyers like India also picking up Russian crude that was already at sea? Do you think all those measures are also in a way boosting the, rally, the drop in the oil prices that we are witnessing right now?
I think we have to look at the global availability of oil, and from India, since we are diversified, we were allowed to buy Russian oil, and the Iranians also allowed certain oil to come to India, though and I believe an order has been placed by a private company in Jamnagar, the refinery in Jamnagar, upon the Iranian oil as well. And the overall availability, additionality to it, helps bring down the prices. And I do hope that we would see oil coming into India, even from as far as Venezuela, because the Americans can only refine a very small portion of it. The rest has to go to Russia, or it has to go to China, India, etc. And it is the overall availability in the world which will help bring down the prices, and India stands to gain from all this.
All right, Mr. Ajay Dua, appreciate you speaking with us here on Times Now and sharing with us your perspective. So as we speak, viewers, Brent crude is currently trading around $99 per barrel. It's at $99.2 per barrel. There has been an over 5% drop in the Brent crude prices. They stay below $100 per barrel because there is some bit of optimism that we could see potential de-escalation in the Middle East very soon, with the kind of calls that U.S. President Donald Trump, in fact, has made over the last 24 hours. Let's now move on and shift our focus to another important update that we are getting for you right now. And this is